Tonight we'll be focusing on module 3. We're going to look at just one module because this module is quite packed, and it will allow us to reflect and see where we are as entrepreneurs or as business owners in terms of how a business grows. Yeah, there are various phases that a business goes through. So as we'll be going through this, I'm sure we shall be seeing ourselves. We shall see where are we and where do we need to go next, and what do we need to do to get to the next level. These are very it's a very enlightening discussion. I remember when we were going through it in cohort 1, we had quite a lot to reflect on, and that's why we decided let's be handling this module as one instead of combining with another one, to allow us to have more time to be able to reflect. But just to recap where we have come from, where we started, what we have covered, and to where we are, and then we connect to module 3. We have prepared a short video, which is on YouTube, that we can be able to even watch after this as well. So we're going to watch this video. I'll encourage you just to pick some few points here and there. Then we can reflect on that as part of our recap. Then after that, we proceed with our session for tonight. So let's watch this video and pick a few take home. Then we exchange as we continue.
Welcome to Business School 101. Have you ever wondered what it takes to turn an idea into a successful business? The journey from concept to company is what we call entrepreneurship, and it's one of the most exciting and challenging paths you can take in the business world. So what exactly is entrepreneurship? What characteristics are key to entrepreneurs? Are there some real-world examples? Why it is important for our society? In this video, I will discuss these questions with you. Section 1, Definition. Entrepreneurship is the process of identifying a business opportunity, gathering the necessary resources, and taking on the risks involved in creating and growing a new business. It's not just about starting a business, it's about innovation, problem solving, and creating value. Entrepreneurs are individuals who see opportunities where others see challenges and are willing to take the risks necessary to bring their ideas to life. Section 2. Key characteristics. In general, entrepreneurs normally share the following characteristics. Number 1. Innovation. Entrepreneurs are often innovators at heart, driven by the desire to introduce new ideas, products, or services that address unmet needs or solve existing problems in unique ways. Innovation is not just about creating something new, it's about doing things better, faster, or more efficiently than before. For instance, Elon Musk's ventures like Tesla and SpaceX exemplify this innovative spirit. Tesla redefined the automotive industry by making electric vehicles mainstream and desirable, while SpaceX is revolutionizing space travel with reusable rockets, making space exploration more cost-effective and accessible. Musk's ability to innovate has not only disrupted industries but also inspired others to think bigger and push the boundaries of what's possible.
The global AI market is projected to reach $1,770 billion by
Number 2. Risk-taking. Risk-taking is a fundamental trait of entrepreneurs, as starting and growing a business inherently involves stepping into the unknown. Entrepreneurs must be willing to take financial, professional, and personal risks to pursue their vision. Jeff Bezos exemplifies this characteristic. He left a secure job at a hedge fund to start Amazon, an online bookstore, in 1994. At that time, the internet was still in its infancy, and e-commerce was a largely untested business model. Bezos's willingness to risk his career and invest in a novel idea paid off enormously, as Amazon grew from a small online bookstore into one of the world's largest companies, transforming the way people shop and do business online. Number 3. Resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to change, and keep moving forward despite challenges. Entrepreneurs often face numerous obstacles, including failures, rejections, and financial difficulties, but their resilience allows them to persevere. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, is a prime example of resilience in entrepreneurship. Before founding Alibaba, Ma faced numerous rejections, including being turned down for 30 different jobs and multiple university rejections. Despite these setbacks, Ma continued to pursue his entrepreneurial dreams. He founded Alibaba in 1999, which grew into a global e-commerce powerhouse. Ma's resilience was critical in overcoming the early challenges of building an online marketplace in China, a concept that was new and unfamiliar at the time. Number 4. Vision. Having a clear and compelling vision is essential for entrepreneurs, as it guides their decisions and inspires others to join them on their journey. A strong vision provides direction and motivation, helping entrepreneurs to navigate challenges and stay focused on their long-term goals. Steve Jobs is often celebrated for his visionary approach to business. His vision for Apple was not just to create computers but to build products that would revolutionize the way people interact with technology. This vision led to the development of iconic products like the iPhone, iPad, and MacBook, which have had a profound impact on multiple industries, including computing, telecommunications, and entertainment. Jobs' ability to see beyond the current trends and envision the future played a crucial role in Apple's success. Number 5. Adaptability. Adaptability is the ability to adjust to new conditions and pivot strategies in response to changing market dynamics, customer needs, or unforeseen challenges. Entrepreneurs must be flexible and open to change to survive and thrive in a competitive business environment. Reed Hastings, the co-founder of Netflix, demonstrated exceptional adaptability when he transitioned the company from a DVD rental service to a streaming platform. Recognizing the shift in consumer behavior towards online streaming, Hastings made a bold move to change Netflix's business model, even at the risk of alienating its existing customer base. This adaptability allowed Netflix to become a global leader in the entertainment industry, fundamentally changing how people consume media. Number 6. Passion. Passion is a driving force for entrepreneurs, fueling their persistence and commitment to their business goals. It is often what keeps them going through the ups and downs of the entrepreneurial journey. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, is an example of how passion can drive entrepreneurial success. Blakely was passionate about creating a product that would solve a common problem faced by women: uncomfortable undergarments. Her passion for her idea led her to invest her life savings into developing Spanx, a line of comfortable and innovative shapewear. Despite having no experience in fashion or business, Blakely's passion and determination helped her overcome numerous obstacles, eventually turning Spanx into a billion-dollar company and making her one of the most successful self-made women in the world. Number 7. Customer focus. A strong focus on understanding and meeting customer needs is critical for entrepreneurial success. Entrepreneurs who prioritize their customers are better equipped to develop products and services that resonate with their target market, leading to stronger customer loyalty and business growth. Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks, exemplifies a customer-centric approach. Schultz transformed Starbucks from a small coffee chain into a global brand by focusing on the customer experience. He envisioned Starbucks as a third place between home and work, where customers could relax, socialize, and enjoy high-quality coffee. This focus on creating a unique and welcoming customer experience helped Starbucks become the largest coffeehouse chain in the world. Number 8. Persistence. Persistence is the unwavering determination to keep pushing forward, even in the face of obstacles and setbacks. Entrepreneurs often encounter numerous challenges on their path to success, but their persistence allows them to overcome these hurdles. Walt Disney is a classic example of entrepreneurial persistence. Before creating the Disney Empire, Walt Disney faced multiple business failures and even went bankrupt. Despite these setbacks, Disney continued to pursue his dream of creating an entertainment company that would bring joy to millions. His persistence paid off when he founded the Walt Disney Company, which grew into one of the largest and most successful media and entertainment companies in the world, known for its iconic characters, films, and theme parks. Number 9. Networking. Networking is a vital skill for entrepreneurs, as building strong relationships with customers, investors, partners, and other stakeholders can open doors to new opportunities, resources, and support. Successful entrepreneurs understand the importance of networking and actively work to expand their connections. Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group, is known for his extensive network and ability to leverage relationships across various industries. Branson's networking skills have been instrumental in launching and growing numerous businesses under the Virgin brand, from airlines to music to telecommunications. His ability to connect with people and build partnerships has been a key factor in the success of the Virgin Group.
Why are you still not making money from trading? It's time to learn what really works. Stay with me for the next 45 seconds.
Number 10. Leadership. Strong leadership is essential for entrepreneurs, as they must inspire and guide their teams, manage resources effectively, and steer their companies through growth and challenges. Effective leadership involves setting a clear vision, making tough decisions, and motivating others to achieve common goals. Indra Nooyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo, demonstrated exceptional leadership during her tenure. She led PepsiCo through significant strategic shifts, including the expansion into healthier product lines and a greater focus on sustainability. Nooyi's leadership helped PepsiCo navigate these changes while maintaining strong financial performance, earning her recognition as one of the most powerful women in business. Section 3. Importance. Entrepreneurship is crucial to our society for several key reasons. Number 1. Job creation. Entrepreneurs are a primary source of job creation. By starting new businesses, they generate employment opportunities for others, which helps reduce unemployment rates and supports economic stability. For example, startups and small businesses often drive job growth, especially in emerging sectors like technology, where new companies are constantly being formed. Number 2. Innovation. Entrepreneurs are often at the forefront of innovation, introducing new products, services, and technologies that can transform industries and improve the quality of life. This innovation leads to increased productivity, more efficient processes, and the creation of new markets. Companies like Apple and Tesla have revolutionized their respective industries through continuous innovation, contributing significantly to economic growth. Number 3. Economic growth. Entrepreneurship stimulates economic growth by increasing competition, improving productivity, and driving demand. When entrepreneurs succeed, their businesses expand, contributing to higher GDP and overall economic development. Their success also encourages further investment and attracts talent, fostering a more dynamic and competitive economy. Number 4. Competition and efficiency. Entrepreneurship fosters competition, which drives businesses to improve their products, services, and processes. This competition leads to greater efficiency, lower prices, and better choices for consumers. In turn, a competitive market environment promotes innovation and continuous improvement, benefiting the economy as a whole. Section 4. Summary. To sum up, entrepreneurship is about much more than just starting a business. It's about innovation, taking risks, and creating value that drives economic growth and societal change. Entrepreneurs are visionary, resilient, and determined to turn their ideas into reality, despite the challenges they may face. Whether you're aspiring to be an entrepreneur or just curious about how new businesses come to life, understanding entrepreneurship is key to understanding the forces that shape our world. Alright, that's all for today's time.
Okay, that's a very rich clip with quite a lot that we can benefit from as entrepreneurs. And as we transition to our session tonight, maybe I can just allow us to reflect out of what we have gone through. Something that you may feel you may want to recap from that video, or what has resonated with you very well. There's quite a lot I've picked personally, and I think those 10 characteristics of an entrepreneur, I've seen where we have leveraged more as GLN, especially on networking, and I've seen the value of networking even in terms of how we are growing as a network. So that's a very key. Networking and leadership actually are two key areas that we have focused on, as much as all the others are also very critical. Okay, so Mary, I don't know if there is something you can mention from the clip. Then Susan and Virginia can start with Mary. Yeah, Mary, if there's something, you can feel free to unmute and share.
Yes, I felt as if this script was talking about what I've gone through. So I was so happy because there are many things I started from zero. From zero. And for example, when I started the school I was telling you about, I I had to look for the mission, the vision. I had to look for children. I had to look for teachers. I had to design the curriculum, to design the timetable, to see when the children will be praying, when they will be going to class, when they will be going to the field. I didn't have a field, so I had to go to the Ministry of Education to ask for a field. I was given a field in another primary school. And it was a very great risk because even I didn't have buildings. So every year I would build a Mabati class. There, then I would save a little and build another Mabati class. And this went on. And that is the school. I'm telling you now, it has about 800 students. And it's now a very big school and a very good school, even with a junior school. And now we are preparing to do exams for grade 9. So I felt like I would have given up. And there were so many people opposing, telling us to close the school. What are you doing here? What? But God gave us the passion, adaptability to changes, even to problems. He gave us the focus to the customers. We took a very big risk. So I felt like the video was talking about me. So I'm very happy. Thank you. It has helped me a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Mary. We see resilience in your journey. We see that desire to address a challenge or a problem, because that is what keeps us going. When you remember that I am running this business because there is a specific problem that I'm addressing, and if I stop this business, then who will help that category of the people that I'm helping or the business is helping? That's really important.
Exactly. And what had motivated me was one thing. Those days we were in Central Province. Our location was always the
Mm,
last one in academic performance every year. So I said, can't I do something to alleviate this? So when we started this with all those problems, then our first class 8 was the best in KCP in the whole of that zone.
mm,
So it started off like that, and children went to Alliance, Loreto, and others. And that way, now some of them are nurses, others are lawyers, so many are lawyers. So I'm
mm.
so happy to see that. I'm very, very happy about that project. And that is the problem I was trying to solve. And I was ready to take any risk. I was ready to do anything. But my vision was that we may offer a solution to that academic performance.
Wow, wow. Thank you, Mary. Susan, I see on the chat you've shared something. Maybe you could amplify it. Yeah, Susan, if you're in a position, I see on the chat. Okay, Susan is saying great video, key lessons. Entrepreneurship is not always about creating something new, but could be innovating new ways of doing the same things, doing things better, faster, or more efficiently. Characteristics that stood out is resilience and adaptability. It's also about taking risks. Yeah, thank you so much, Susan. That's very clear from the video and also from the experience that all of us are going through or have gone through or will go through. Okay, Virginia, I could add a comment as well.
I really like the video and I agree with both Susan and Miri. Uh, there's a lot of resilience needed for us to be able to achieve much. And I think also to add on to that, I could just add consistency. Because without consistency, then it means that we might lose the focus and we might not be able to meet our goals sooner. if we are derailed or if you're not really focused on what we are doing. So we need to be consistent. Of course, we can see even the people that have been quoted. They have really shown a lot of consistency in what they're doing. And of course, that thing of refining what is in the market, refining what you already have to make it better, to make it more efficient, and so that it can really make some good progress. Talking of refining, I would like to talk about one friend of mine in Kigali. He is doing something really remarkable. So he's doing pilipili. You know Rusenda. Here we call it Rusenda, but it's pilipili, the one that he has his own recipe. And before there was just, it's oilish. It has some oil chili that you can put in your food. And there was just one before that. It was really good. Even many Kenyans used to ask for it or get it once they came. It was one one thing that even when you're coming to Kenya, you had to bring for people because, I mean, it's just one and it's really nice. So this guy just came up the market like 2 years ago. And his products are really organic because he grows them or supplies the seeds to the farmers that want to grow for him. So they grow for him what he wants, and then he is able to just give me a moment. Yeah, so he is able to buy from them, and then he began a very small industry behind his house in his servant quarter. That's where he used to cook his pilipili from. Then he got some very nice packaging. I will share you with the photo of his product so you see how nice they are versus what was in the market. And what he has done actually, he is just in the same oil chili that was there before, but now he's adding more flavors to it. You know, just refining and developing what is already in the market. So his strategy is what was in the market, but adding more flavors to it. So if you want the one that is mango flavored, if you want one that has some garlic in it, if you want one that has maybe onions in it. So it's the same pilipili that you've been buying all this time. Difference is that now it has some more flavor and it has some more taste. And now people, of course, are buying, he's exporting. You know, he's getting these amazing orders from all over the globe, and you can tell it's such a great season for him. So it's just to mean that even looking around what everyone is doing, you could find your own unique way of doing it and do it better in a good way, with integrity and all that, because also an entrepreneur has to be someone with integrity. And then watch out for the growth. It doesn't have to be white collar professional entrepreneurship setups. It could be even the ones that are really down there, you know, buying products from the farms or from the farmers, but refining or adding value to them. And that way, it also adds value to your business and to what you're doing. So refining, being adaptable, you know, being consistent will make you as an entrepreneur go very far. And that is my take home today. Thank you.
Wow, that's really enriching, and thank you for that case study. It's a real example, and that connects with what Susan had mentioned. Innovation may not necessarily being about coming up with a new product, but improving, adding value, scanning around, seeing what is being provided and how can I bring it in a more innovative way. I think that really sums it up all. And this reminds us even as how we started as GLN. I like telling the story of GLN, Generation Leadership Network. In the first class, we had 3 leaders, and we didn't have clear structures. We had one product that had not yet been refined, not yet been structured properly, because as we will see in the startup development phases, the earlier stages, sometimes there are a number of things that are not been tightened up. Yeah, so we were going through the same. I went on with the 3 leaders for almost a whole year. Yeah, and what we could do is just to come together virtually, because I was out there in Korea, so we'd come out together virtually. I would share what is in my heart with them. I would share some nuggets on leadership, Bible, and then we would pray. And we went on like that for quite some time, but along the way, 2 of them dropped. Yeah, 2 of them dropped because I think this journey didn't have, it had a beginning, but it didn't have an end. So 2 of them dropped along the way, and I was left with one. And I always say the one that I was left with is Rebecca, my wife. So I kept on moving with faith that maybe one day those other 2 will come back to the class. But they didn't come back in the same cohort. But moved on to cohort 2. Cohort 2, now I was testing the content. I had the materials, but not yet published. So I would take them out. Now that was physical. There were about 9 of them. I would take them out once per month. Facilitate their transport, facilitate the meals, facilitate the meeting cost for meeting, the meeting venue, and I would train them. I would take them through the content, then I would ask them, how can we improve this? Yeah, can someone pay for this? Yeah, and so many questions. Is it relevant? Is it helpful? And it was a platform for me just to be able to test out the content. Again, not yet refined, no structures yet, and about 6 months down the line, because we used to meet once in a month. By the time we get to the eighth month, a number of them again had dropped. Actually, I was left with one, and I kept on asking myself, do people really need what I'm offering? Yeah. Am I really offering something that is needed? Do I need to go back and research on the problem that I'm addressing? Or am I targeting the right category of people? So many questions. That didn't prevent us from moving on. Now the resilience, the consistency that you are talking about, the persistence, we moved on, and now we were able to package the materials, publish the materials. So by the time you get into cohort 3, it was very clear. We are meeting for 3 months, 2 hours per week, and we're meeting between this time and this time. Once you are done, you will graduate, you will become a member of the network. It was very clear, there were structures, and the moment we took cohort 3 through our training, there were 9 of them, and they were able to bring 34 leaders to our class. And from that time, our growth now took a different shift. Now we were able now to run 3 classes per week, and now we're able to run 5 classes per week. Yeah, but all this, there's a story. There's a story behind every entrepreneur. Every entrepreneur will tell you a story, and I'm sure maybe as we continue next week or any other time, we'll also be able to get our stories. Get your story. I know we have shared in bit, but we want just to use that experience to enrich our journey as entrepreneurs. So thank you so much for sharing. Allow me to move on to what the discussion around startup development phases. As I said, we'll only focus on that for tonight. And every business goes through these processes, either consciously or unconsciously. We all go through these processes. And some entrepreneurs or some business, because sometimes we don't know we're going through a process and the nature and of that process, the challenges, then it's easy to give up because we don't know what is coming next. So when we create awareness on these phases, we are able to know where we are and what we will experience or what we're experiencing and how to move on to the next phase. So the objective for our discussion tonight is just to understand the startup life cycle. We look at the startup life cycle, then recognize the unique needs at each stage, manage growth and scaling. How do we manage growth and how do we scale up our business? And then risks, we have talked about risks. Then how do we mitigate risks and failures? We may not go into the very nitty-gritty, but we'll just highlight a few areas on those particular objectives. So a startup goes through 6 development stages. Yeah, the stages again are grouped into 4 broad categories. So there is the formation. When we start, like now the my 3 leaders, that was the formation, the foundational part of the business. Then there is the validation, and then the growth, and then the business matures. Yeah. So each stage you find that it comes with certain opportunities, but also it comes with certain challenges. Yeah, certain opportunities and certain challenges. So for us to be able to leverage the opportunities and also be able to be aware of the challenges so that we can plan on how to navigate through the challenges, it's good that we have this kind of information ahead of time or before even we run or we start off that business or in the course of running the business. So understanding these stages will position or positions entrepreneurs to stay ahead of the game and optimize and anticipated opportunities as we manage challenges. So each broad category has certain elements into it. You see, like information, this is where we talk about the mission. This is where we talk about the vision. This is where we talk about the strategy. Yeah. And the idea is now formed. And sometimes you have co-founder, you have a team around this, and we want to answer the question of what we are doing, to whom, and why, and how we are engaging into the this journey of entrepreneurship. So in the lower stage, the broader categories, we have the formation, but within the formation, we also have the problem and solution fit. This is where we are asking ourselves, what problem am I addressing and what is the solution fit? So we come up with the idea, the ideating, we'll be able to think and refine the idea as mentioned by Virginia. Then we are able to come up with a concept, yeah, and that transitions us now to committing because the idea is somehow refined. We have a clear concept. Now we can be able to commit to the concept, validate, and in the validation we have minimum viable product where we come up with a product probably just to test out the idea and then try to see if it's meeting the need or it's meeting the market demand. Yeah. So that is part of the validating where we look at the product, we look at the market fit, and then we proceed to the growth where now we can scale up. If we have tested out, it is meeting the market fit, now we are ready to grow that business. Okay, so I'll still go through this and I will also share this so that we can be able to appreciate a little bit deeper. So in the formation, key areas of focus here is the vision, is the mission and the strategy, and as well as the problem and the solution fit. That what needs to come out very clear at the formation stage. Then at the validation stage, we want to test our product or the idea. We're checking or proving the validity, the viability of the products, the viability of the services that we want to offer, and also, are they connecting with the market? Yeah, is the market ready for this? Yeah, so the market fit. Then there are also assumptions that are validated to test the user acceptance. So at the validation, majorly, we are talking about the user acceptance. And I think this is one of the key strength that we are leveraging as GLN. There is a certain level of acceptance of the products that we are offering. That's why you find someone can confidently refer to another person. Why? Because I have accepted the product or the service, and I can proudly or confidently be able to refer it to someone else. Then in growth, we now look at how to scale up the business. We look at how we come up with a business model and the market fit in terms of how they correlate. We'll be talking about the business model and business canvas model later on. And then the startup grows in customer base at this particular stage, and the focus now shifts towards how to enhance infrastructure and marketing strategies. And I think this is where we are also as an organization, because as I said, this is like a mirror. We are seeing ourselves. You are also seeing yourself as an entrepreneur, and you can tell at what stage you are at and what else we need to do to move on to the next phase. Then maturity stage. Yeah, you see like the curve. So having attained a consistent source of revenue in the growth stage. So this stage focuses now on identification of expansion. What are the expansion opportunities? Yeah, how can we create another spike of growth? So it also entails building adaptive teams, because now probably you need a team that will be able to scale up the entity, identification of acquisition opportunities for ventures or products aligned to the startup mission, among other strategies. And you will realize, even from the cases that we looked at, some of them were able to get to the global space because of either they collaborated, either they were business ventures, or either they were able to open up the business to shareholders, and that now scaled the business to a global level. So these are the 6 startup stages. Ideating, this is the idea formation or conception. Then concepting, where we now refine the idea, development of a startup concept. Now here we have clear concept that details the idea, including the vision, the mission, the strategy, the target market, among other key areas of focus within a concept note. Then committing, where we establish the vision and the founders fit. Here now there is that the concept is operationalized at this particular stage. This sort of commitment, the idea is clear, the concept is clear, and at this level, it's operationalized. At this stage, it's operationalized. Then validating, so here again, we are looking at the product and the market. Does it meet the gap that has been identified, that market fit validation? So checking or proving the validity or accuracy or viability of products, and market fit, we are saying, is critical for sustainability, even as we continue to grow and maintain a certain level of success, as then we create another spike. So that continuous upward curve is part of what is also validated at this particular stage. Then we scale up. At this stage, the startup makes progress, and gains attention. Here we see significant growth in customers and revenue. We also see products, business model, and market fit as part of the success factor. So scaling up, then establishing. So we scale up, then we establish, then we scale. So there is a continuous curve going upward. So at this stage, customer feedback is of high priority. And then we need to maintain customer base and loyalty. Okay. So we can also look at this from another angle. Yeah, the organization growth path, and this is practical based on what probably all of us have gone through. The 5 phases of organizational growth path. We start with the search. This is the ideation stage. Yeah, the ideation stage. Then we build based on the idea. Then we scale. Then we expand. Then we sustain. And you can tell this curve still goes on. So I don't know what comes after sustaining. Yeah, so we have searched. Yeah, and we are saying organizations should identify where they are and then focus on the right kind of innovation for that specific phase. Yeah, so we search the idea, we clarify the idea, we build the product or the service, we scale it up, we expand, we sustain. Then from sustaining, again the curve continues to move up. So we are going to look at the 7 phases of the business life cycle, which will somehow relate with what we have covered, but it will also bring another perspective and some more insights in terms of how we grow our businesses. So there are 7 stages of growth that we're going to look at, but I want to probably pause here for some 2-3 minutes and just do a check on where we are, how we are faring. I know we had our conversation earlier, and I decided just to first run through this, then we can have another conversation as we get to the final part of our discussion tonight. So let me allow you to add your voice to what we have covered so far. Does it resonate with you? Have you seen yourself in those phases? Is there any pointer that you have identified that probably you went through a stage and there's some new insight, or you are even currently in a particular stage on what we have covered? So let me just allow us to reflect on that before we proceed. Yeah, I could start with, yes, Mary?
Yes, I would like to say that when I launched the school, it grew well. And then there was a time now it was able to sustain itself, because at the beginning it was a bit hard. When it became stable, then when the CBC came, again, there was a bit of decline, because, now their parents wanted to go to public schools. Now they didn't care about the performance of class 8. So, but by God's grace now, it is picking up. But all those stages, I think I went through them.
Yeah, Mary, and I like that because it doesn't mean that the curve might just be going up, then stabilizing and then going up. It can stabilize and go down depending with the prevailing environment, what is happening both to the internal and external environment.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that answers my question when I asked, after sustaining, where do we go next?
Exactly. Sometimes so it is your resilience now that helps you to adapt to this going down, to have hope that one day it will still come up.
Okay, thank you, Mary. I don't know if Susan and Virginia, you have something to add into this? Okay. Yeah, so I believe this is part of what we can reflect more on. Yeah, as so I want to sum up this by looking at the 7 phases of the business life cycle, from the launch to the growth to the scale. And I like this because you see now that from sustaining, our question now is answered here. Yeah, either we can go up or we can go down or even we can go straight, but now we have been on a flat path. Then something has to happen. Yeah. So from the launch, from the growth, from scaling up, maturity, plateau, then jump, the S curve, or decline. So the strategies here are what will really matter. I know there is a prevailing environment, but also what are the particular strategies. And some of the businesses were not able to pick this spike. Yeah, that's why we talk about some entities that were doing very well, like Nokia, like Kodak, and among others, that were not unable now to create another spike upward. And maybe majorly what happened was the environment. It was the external environment. Technology was coming into the space, and therefore adaptability was a key issue. Are we going to adapt the technology and then be able now to create another spike up? So without that adaptability, we've seen a number of companies that went down. So let's look at these 7 stages of growth. This is by James Fisher. Yeah, they were developed by James Fisher. And the goal was to help entrepreneurs understand and manage the hidden dynamics of growth that is based on company size, yeah, and how to navigate the growth curve. So there are 7 stages. There is the startup or the groundbreaker stage. We have the trailblazer. We have the pathfinder stage. Then the treadmill operator stage, the peak performer stage, the legacy builder, and then the dynasty builder. So I'll just give a highlight of each, and then we can be able to dig deeper at our own time. So the startup or the groundbreaker, this is where everyone does everything. And you will find almost every entrepreneur relating to this. There's that particular stage where you are running almost everything. Yeah. So this stage is quite exhausting, and there's a mix of late nights, big dreams, and constant uncertainty. Yeah, it is where the entrepreneur mindset is born. And we look at a case where maybe you have employees of 1 to 10. It's vision driven, the founder led. Here, the founder takes is on the forefront. The roles are fluid because, again, it's quite young. So chaos is common, but passion fuels progress. Then we have survival and focus. So what are the key characteristics? Founder driven. Yeah, so the founder is involved in everything. Small, tight-knit team wearing many hats, is also focused on providing the concept and finding product market fit and generating early revenue. Yeah, so there are long hours, limited systems, and it's often organized chaos. Yeah, we're calling it organized chaos. But again, there is that passion that is able to take an entrepreneur from this stage to another. So we see at the groundbreaker, everyone does everything. The entrepreneur is shouldering quite a lot. So what are the main challenges? One, we are talking of lack of clarity in roles because everyone is doing whatever needs to be done. Yeah, cash flow pressure is intense. Yeah, so survival is key. Then scaling feels like a distant dream. It's all about building a foundation. So here, the focus is majorly on how do we build a strong foundation. So the business relies heavily on the founder's resources, including skills, including decisions. In terms of leadership focus, Yeah, so refine your offering so that you're able to get a clear, to be clear on the value proposition and the customer base. And then build a strong, adaptable team, even if it's small. And here we are saying culture starts here at the groundbreaker. And then start putting basic systems in place and learn to prioritize and focus. We need to avoid trying to do everything at once. Yeah, so that's the first stage. Then the second stage is the trailblazer, where we are saying charging ahead with a small army. So at this level, we have been able to break the ground. Now we are looking at how do we charge ahead with a small army. So this stage is often where business burnout or breakthrough. Yeah, so it's a make or break stage. The team's energy is awesome, but without structure and leadership evolution, it can spiral into chaos. So in terms of employees, 11 to 19, business gain traction at this particular level, and then roles start at least to be clear at this particular level. So the main challenge here is letting go of control and building structure. That's the main challenge here. How do I let go of control and build structures? Yeah. So we see some additional characteristics. The business is operationally heavy with many systems and structures in place. Processes and bureaucracy can start to bog things down at this particular stage because, again, now we are maturing. We are now coming up with structures. So we need to be keen so that, again, we are not bogged down by bureaucracy. So leaders may feel like they are working harder than ever, but not making meaningful progress. Yeah. So like that foundation that is really taking so much resources before we can be able to get to the ground level. So in terms of challenges, overstretching can kill agility and innovation. Communication gaps can emerge between departments because, again, of the growth. That growth sometimes comes up with such kind of challenges. Then employees may start feeling over-managed because of the structures. So the leadership focus shift from doing to managing and leading. Yeah, so that now the hands can be free to be able to look at strategic issues. Then empower mid-level managers and develop leadership teams and focus on cross-functional communication. Then we move to the Pathfinder. Here, it's about finding your way while building a real team. Yeah, so we see the element of ambidexterity here. I'm finding my way, but I'm still building a real team. And I think I tend to resonate quite well with this. Yeah, so this stage is all about letting go to grow, empowering your team. So as the founder or key leader can shift from doing to guiding the path forward. And leaders, I think this will be a key area of focus. If I am currently the one who is doing, and doing here means probably I'm hands-on, which can derail some element of strategic thinking, then I need to be able to start that shift of moving from doing to getting the path forward of to leading or to managing. Okay, so the founder must shift from doer to leader, and the main challenge here is managing complexity and leadership challenges. So the company is transitioning from a startup to a real business at this level. Leaders are beginning to delegate more, and they can no longer do everything. And the team is also expanding. There is also a mix of formal and informal processes. So growth is still happening, but the chaos of early stage, remember there were the organized chaos at the early stage, are also starting to become unsustainable. Okay, so the main challenge is overstretching. We've talked about communication gap, yeah, and we've also talked about the shift from cross-functional communication as part of the leadership focus. Okay, maybe before I mention number 3, I don't know if there is a comment, a question before we go to the 4th one. So we've looked at the startup or the groundbreaker where everyone does everything. The trailblazer charging ahead with a small army. We've looked at the pathfinder, yeah, finding your way while building a real team, yeah, using both hands, the ambidexterity. Now we want to look at the treadmill operator. So maybe I can allow us just to reflect on this. I know this is, are we able to access the slides afterwards? Okay, yeah, we'll share the slides afterwards, Virginia. I know it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot within the limited time. Okay.
I'd only like to say that where I find myself reflected here is at the beginning, it's like you do everything. You know, like, for example, I had to go to class and teach. I had to form the teachers. I used to give them lessons also, like PPI lessons, and I would go to children, give them PPI lessons. I would go to the priest to organize for mass for the children. I would go to the dorms and check. And so it's like you do everything at the beginning before you start now managing. To lay the foundation, you must be involved in everything. Then now later on, you start becoming to manage slowly by slowly, and then you go through the the pathfinding way. You start making a team which can help you to achieve this vision, and then you start now transitioning this beginning into a new business. So it takes time, and it requires a lot of, I said, resilience, a lot of patience, and if you can easily give up because of this mix-up, as we said, organized chaos, because there are chaos at the beginning.
Yeah, organized chaos. Okay. Yeah, then we have the treadmill operator. Yeah, running hard but going nowhere fast. Yeah, running hard but going nowhere fast. So the primary goal here is survival. How do we survive? Yeah, ensuring the business continues to operate, generates cash flow, and meets the basic needs. So entrepreneur at this stage are consumed by immediate tasks at the treadmill operator, but we see structure and systems continuing to grow, but sometimes it could be quite heavy. Bureaucracy and silos can emerge. Remember now the structures are becoming more and more. Yeah, so delegation becomes critical, and how to avoid burnout and stagnation become the point of focus here. So the key characteristics of the treadmill operator: the business is now operationally heavy. We have many systems because we have added more structures, and we all have a sense of this. Yeah, as we continue to create more structures, there are also some give and take. Yeah, so the process bureaucracy can start to bog things down. Yeah, so I see, like, even GLN, as we have continued to grow, now you have a board, and as you make decisions, sometimes the board has to sit and discuss. But initially, I could make the decisions and implement maybe with alone, again, later on with a small team. But now you have a board in place who may also need to be in picture. So leaders may feel like they are working harder than ever, but not making meaningful progress. Yeah, I don't know if someone can resonate with that. So owners control starts to win, delegation becomes critical. So growth may slow or plateau unless systems now are able to adapt. So in terms of leadership focus, shift from doing again to managing and leading. And we also continue to empower the mid-level managers as we also continue to scale up. Then we have the peak performer. The peak performer. We've gone through all those stages, chaos and all that. Now here is strong, fast, and aligned. Yeah, at the peak performer stage, we are looking at an enterprise that is strong, is also fast and aligned. This is the stage where companies transition from founder-led to leader-led. Yeah, from the founder-led to leader-led. It's all about refining, preparing for the next level, while strategically stabilizing the business before scaling again. So here again, we see high functioning teams and leaders. We also see a shift from optimization and culture. The culture is also becoming stronger and stronger. Business now is able to scale and more sustainable. The major challenge here is keeping agility while maturing. And you can see that because of the structures that you have talked about. So how do we remain rigid and how do we be agile? How do we create a balance of that? Sustain what has worked as we continue to evolve and improve where we feel needs to be improved. So the key characteristics of this stage: systems are in place, leadership is emerging, and the business is scaling. So there's a shift from entrepreneur mindset to a strategic CEO mindset. Yeah. So this is now where we start looking at probably a big team being led by a CEO. So there's a clear organization structure with the departments and all the other structures that will sustain the business. So the focus is shifting to sustaining and refining rather than brute forcing growth. Yeah, the sustainability here is a key consideration. So here, in terms of leadership focus, shift into being a visionary leader and culture carrier. That is a strategic CEO. Invest heavily in leadership development at all levels. And then we create systems for performance measurement and innovation, very important. Then sustainability and scale up of growth are key consideration at the peak performer. So that's why we're talking about strong, fast, and aligned. Then we have the second last, which is the legacy builder. Legacy builder. These are entrepreneurs or business owners that are now looking beyond success. It's about building significance. Yeah. So legacy builder is where the founders step back to elevate others and then build a company that thrives with or without them. It's about shaping culture, deepening impact, and planning succession. Yeah, a legacy, not just a business. So there's a shift from building a business to creating an institution at this particular stage. And I see GLN to a certain element here, because now we are talking about being accredited as a TVET institution. And there's that shift towards having a certain structure that now can be able to run an institution. So there's a strong leadership team in place, and the founder's role is more visionary than operational. So again, I think entrepreneurs, that this is also very important, that conscious decision in terms of when do I gradually start shifting from operational to the visionary role or the strategic leader role. So the company likely has multiple layers of management, solid structures, and mature system. And we are saying we are shifting from survival and scaling to purpose, values, and legacy. That's why we are calling it the legacy builder. Beyond success, building significance. So the leadership focus here is about inspire and reinforce culture, values. Then we create a sustainable leadership pipeline. We protect the organization from drift, to stay true to the vision and mission, and then shift from growth for growth's sake to growth with purpose. And we can scan around and see some companies that have also been able to fit into this stage. Then finally, we have the dynasty builder. Dynasty builder, yeah. And here is where we build to last. We build to last. Dynasty is about sustaining success over time and also making a lasting impact. So here is no longer just about growth. It's also about creating something that outlasts the founder and also thrives in the long term. The founder transitions from the person who runs the business to the steward of its future. So we have mature systems, we have strong brand, we have stable growth. Founders' involvement is minimal or strategic, but one of the challenge here is sustaining innovation, relevance, and impact. And then in terms of the leadership focus, shift from day-to-day operations to big picture strategy, then mentor and empower emerging leaders throughout the organization, preparing them for future roles. Then focus on legacy, both in terms of the business and the impact it has on the customers and industry. Build sustainability. Again, remember, sustainability is a key consideration across all these stages. Then continually innovate to stay competitive, keeping a strong sense of purpose and values-driven leadership. So in Dynasty, we have some key consideration. We have the issue of purpose, we have the issue of vision, we have the issue of legacy, and this is where we are building to last. So each stage introduces a new level of complexity, as you can see that, and what worked in one stage might fail in the next. So we're also saying growth is not just about scaling revenue, it's also about evolving leadership, evolving structures, and culture in sync with the team size. And that brings us to the end. I believe there is quite a lot to reflect on this discussion. Yeah, so thank you, leaders. I'll share the link, the YouTube link for now, just to probably run through again, critically evaluate ourselves. Later on, we'll be having some exercise, some take home, some activities that we can undertake so that we can be able to align our businesses with what we are covering. But for now, just trying to enlighten ourselves, create some awareness, and then build around this before we can start practical sessions. So I want to stop there and probably just allow each of us to share a parting shot as we close. Yeah, Mary, I think I've been starting with you, and allow me just to start with you, just to share a closing comment, then Susan, and then Virginia. Welcome, Mary.
You'd like me to read the concluding prayer?
Maybe just a comment first. Is there any comment that you may wish to share from what we have discussed?
I'd just like to say that I have never thought that entrepreneurship is connected to leadership. But I think as we grow in the entrepreneurship, we are also growing in leadership. They are going hand in hand. That's what I have realized. They go hand in hand. And also, as you are solving the problems of that is the beginning, maybe the second part of growth, you are still growing as a leader, and you are becoming a better leader, and you are developing legacies as the project continues. As the business grows, you become a greater leader with the business.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the legacy, the dynasty, and that's why we have companies that have been running for decades, and maybe even others for more than a century, because they are kind of dynasty or legacy kind of businesses. And I believe the leaders who started those businesses, they had foresight, and they were able to look at, how do I build this business to last? Yeah. So I think this is very good info.
I can keep my motivation to the last.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know it's an experience that we said entrepreneurs take risks, and that's one of the areas that, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we take a risk because you want to let go. You are not very sure, have I refined my team well? Can the team now run with this? Have they really understood my vision? So a lot goes to an entrepreneur's mind in terms of how to manage all this. And that's why we talked about chaos in the beginning, the organized chaos. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Susan, I don't know if you have something to mention.
Yes, maybe just a brief comment. I've just appreciated that every stage is important, and we should embrace each stage of the entrepreneurial journey that you are in. And as we grow, there are different challenges for each stage. What was there previously might not come up again, but what worked in the previous stage might not work. So you adjust as you grow. And personally, I cannot wait for the time when I'll be more of a visionary founder than an operational one. So it's a stage I'm looking forward to. Yeah, and God willing, I get onto the legacy stage as well. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of I think we could be going through this, all of us. I don't know how Virginia is, but I still feel this is a stage that we, including GLN, we are managing this, trying to manage this stage. Sometimes you let go, then you'll go back. Probably if you see there's something that you need to, maybe the strategy you used didn't yield the results you require. You have learned some lesson. You want to bring it back better. You want again to work with the team for a short while, close some gaps, then let them go. So it is a journey that has a lot of mixed feelings. But at the end of it all, if we are building a dynasty or we are building a legacy business, at the end of it all, it's the right thing for us to do. Okay. Virginia?
Yeah, so I think the fact that we are going back sometimes to try and reinvent and do things better is because, for me, I understand that I am the vision bearer. I am the one who has this vision of business, and the rest are there actually for the money, sorry to say that, or for the benefits they are getting. And therefore, there is no really that attachment the attachment is entirely emotional unless you have someone in the team who is really passionate or who really values your work or your business more than the money or the benefit they get out of the business. And I have no one to blame because I mean, that's how humans we are. We tend to give more because of what we are getting out of it. And sometimes it's very easy to relapse and to not stay on the course. But at the same time, I also think even when you are delegating, it's very important for me, from my experience, to keep my eyes open. It's also because you are able to advise and to be proactive before things go wrong. You are able to support, to offer support, and to get things back on track. And that for me is very important. I also noticed that when you are present, or if you try to be present, for some of us who are still having full-time jobs, when you try to be present, you realize that people tend to actually, it's not like showing off, it's not pretense, but there is that aspect of everyone being on their toes because you're around. And then someone could even tell you, today we can tell you here because everybody is actually doing something. That means sometimes in your absence, there could be a kind of a go slow. It could not be intentional, but you know, that's how employees are anyway. Many times you find people are not self-driven, they're not self-motivated, and they need a bit of a push. Yeah, so I have also tried the thing of delegating, and once I delegated one of the staff members, and this person, the burnout she got from frustrations by fellow colleagues. You know, when someone has been part of you as a teaching staff, then all of a sudden they're your supervisor. Of course, I had seen leadership skills. I had seen some commitment, some level of commitment that others didn't have, but she was really fought. All her friends actually turned against her. And it became like a warfare because they were rebellious and they couldn't follow instructions and they were using some very negative and demeaning language. And therefore, what I have done in the past, I have brought in different persons. The only downside is that this different person may not understand the business structure or the vision, the mission. They might not have that personal touch with the clients at the start because, of course, they are new. And so you have to spend a lot of time training them and guiding them. And so it's kind of double work. But in the long run, it pays off. So what I have done right now, it's my husband has relocated his office to our school. So he's actually working from school now. Luckily, he works remotely, but he has very tight schedules. But because I'm not able to be there, he is actually there because we co-own the business. He's the eyes. He's able to put things in shape. He's able to respond to any crisis or any need. He is able to support, and he is able to, he's seen, you know, also for schools, parents need to see the leaders. You know, unlike products like what I was talking about, which you need to find on the shelf and buy or not buy, the nature of our business is different. Parents find a lot of confidence by seeing one of you. So for that reason, he has had to shift and adapt to the situation. And that way, things are quite okay and better because now he represents me. He is a co-bearer of the vision. And, you know, he has the same level of commitment. He has his best wishes, or he is also praying for the business. And therefore, there is that trust. There is that level of trust from all stakeholders. So I think for me, I'm really grateful for this course and for tonight's session. It has really opened my eyes, even in terms of risk taking and seeing what can be done and what level you want to go and how that concept comes as a risk and what you need to risk, if it's finances, if it's whatever it takes to grow the business. I think I do really appreciate, and I'm learning a lot. And thank you so much, Mr. Joseph, for creating time. It's not in vain. It's actually very, very beneficial, and I look forward to learning more in the subsequent sessions. I've also learned a lot from other comrades who are sharing. Thank you, Mary, for sharing your story, your experience. It's really eye-opening, and also to know that we kind of have some common struggles, common challenges, and obviously there is so much we can learn from each other's negative and positive experiences. Yeah, so thank you for such a lovely evening of learning.
Wow. I feel in the next session, we'll want to still remain on this conversation for at least for some few minutes. Virginia, you have shared at least your experience and what you are doing. I would also wish to allow Mary just to align with the same thinking, the same way you have shared what has she gone through, what are some of the challenges, what are those best moments, and also Susan, and I'll also mention to the others. I'll try and script what you have said, then I'll share it in the group so that when we start next week, we can start by that so that we benefit from the experience presented in this class. Otherwise, we really appreciate. Thank you for even opening up just to share what you're going through, what you have done as a family. And I believe that there will be some nuggets, some take homes that we'll want just to go and see how do we intentionally now try to work towards maybe the next phase as we manage the transition, as we are aware of the risks that are involved. But at the end of it all, someone said someone who does not risk is risky. Yeah, so whoever does not risk becomes a risk, him or herself. So as part of the journey, because we are building our businesses for prosperity. So as we build our businesses for prosperity, then there are certain measures, there are certain decisions that we'll make for the sake of prosperity, and then with all wisdom and God's grace, and manage the transition to see our businesses flourishing, not just now, but flourishing even to future generations. So thank you so much, leaders. I've really enjoyed this conversation. I also have my own take homes. As Virginia mentioned, we are all in this together. We are all building our businesses, and we have quite a lot to learn from the materials, but also to learn from one another. So thank you. Allow me to say a prayer, then we can put a comma for tonight. God, we are grateful. Thank you for the insights. Thank you for the experiences that you have shared. And God, we pray that you continue to lead us, even as we lead the entities that you have entrusted to us. We know there's a lot that is required of us, and we can't deliver this with our own strength, with our own wisdom. We are depending on you. May you help us. And we also pray for the people that we are working with, oh God. Lord, we pray that you also continue to speak to them where we need to have our eyes opened Lord, we pray that open our eyes to appreciate what we are doing and for what reason, for what goal, so that all of us, including our teams, can serve with that big picture in mind. We pray, oh God, as we also rest tonight, may you give us a blessed moment in your presence. This is our prayer in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, leaders. I wish you all a blessed night.
Thank you. Blessed night too.
Good night.
Thank you.